Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Out of the Park Baseball 25, and today we are going to continue our season with the 1969 Montreal Expos. We did alright against the Dodgers last time, and today we are going to be playing a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres. We did alright the first time we played them. If I remember correctly, we beat them 2 times out of 3. And it's been mentioned a few times on my stream, of course, the San Diego Padres were our expansion cousins. So yeah, we are doing better than they are. They are 21-36. They have 1 injury, and I did look before I started this. Roberto Pena has a 4 weeks long day-to-day injury, so he has like that nagging injury, but he's still gonna be in the lineup. So what is it? A sprained knee. So he's gonna be playing with a sprained knee for like a month or something, unless of course it gets worse, and that then they have to put him on the injured reserve or injury list. All right, so I believe I am ready to start. I don't know if you are all ready for some baseball today. Of course, in real life, it's about to be the All-Star weekend, right? So let's get going. So today we're going to be facing off against Steve Arden. He's having a really good season for a pretty bad Padres team, at least in the win-loss department. He's 8-2, so he's accounting for more than 1/3 of their wins. So that's pretty impressive. All right, so let's get going. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this lineup here, and the Padres are going to go ahead and go with Tony Gonzalez in center field. He's going to be batting leadoff. Roberto Pena, that we just looked at with his injury, is going to be batting second, playing shortstop. Al Ferrara in left, batting third. Batting cleanup is Nate Colbert, the first baseman. Ollie Brown in right is batting fifth. Chris Cannizzaro, the catcher, is batting 6th. Ed Spiezio, the third baseman, is batting 7th. And Jose Arcia, the second baseman, is going to be batting 8th. And of course, the pitcher Steve Arden batting dead last today. Alright, so let's get going. And we are in San Diego today. What was the San Diego Stadium? Alright, so Maury Wills is going to be leading off this game. It is in the evening in June in San Diego. I bet that it's a very nice temperature outside. Let's get going. It's going to be a 1-0 count here as we tour the stadium. Alright, and it's grounded to second. And Arcia with the good throw, and that's out number 1. Manny Mota is next, 2-1. And that's it, weakly to center, but it's gonna fall in for a base hit, so a little bit of a bloop single here to get us going after 1 out. So we have a runner on first. Oh, and also I'm having a little bit of issues sometimes with my spacebar, so hopefully it doesn't affect the stream too much, but sometimes I have to press twice, and sometimes I press once and it inputs twice, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so runner on first, 1 out for Rusty Stubb, no count to him. Oh, the runner goes, and that's going to be a stolen base for Manny Mota, who gives us now a runner in scoring position and 1 out. See that I only pressed 1 here, and Stubb, you know, grounded out first, so I'm afraid we're going to be seeing that. Of course I could click, I suppose, but that's annoying. Alright, Mac Jones, or I could press 1, I suppose. Alright, so Mac Jones now with a runner on third, 2 outs, 3-1 to count. And he walks, so a 2-out walk gives us runners on the corners, and 2 outs. And Bob Beatty is the next batter. No count. And that's it to left. And near the track is the left fielder. Ferrara, and that's out number 3. Expos get 2 base runners, but nobody comes around to score. It is still 0-0 going into the bottom of the first here in San Diego. Tony Gonzalez leading off that inning for the Padres. 0-1 the count. Oh, and I forgot to mention it, but we have Carl Morton on the mound, so don't expect a whole lot of strikeouts, a bunch of hits and walks, and that should be what's going to happen here. Alright, and the batter grounds out for out number 1. Roberto Pena now, 1-2. Grounds it to third, Wicker with the throw, and that's out number 2. That brings up Al Ferrara, no count. Grounds it to third, and that's a good throw for out number 3. Nothing to show for the Padres in inning number 1. Top of the second incoming, still no score. Right, John Bateman, the batter, now to lead off the top of the second. No count to him. That's it, Weekly. In foul territory, and that's cut there by Colbert for out number 1. Easy play there. Floyd Wicker is next. Full count. That's it. To the opposite field, a little bloop single again. So that's been a thing with the Expos in that save so far is we don't often hit the ball with a lot of authority. We have a lot of little bloop singles like that we get. Alright, runner on first, 1 out for Ty Klein, no count, and that's it to left. See, that was it with some authority, but right at Ferrari in left, and that's out number 2. So runner on first, 2 outs for the pitcher Carl Morton now. 1-1. Grounds it to short. Pena gets it, throws to first, and that's out number 3. Alright, base it and nothing else for the Expos. Bottom of the second incoming. It's going to be Nate Colbert leading off for the Padres. 0-1. That's Pupped Weekly. Mota is there. And that's going to be out number 1. Holly Brown now, 3-1 to count. That's lifted to left. Mac Jones is there, that's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, pretty quick here. Now Chris Cannizzaro is next, no count. 2 outs. Rounds it to short. Mills with the Wheels with the throw, and that's out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning. Top of the third incoming with no score still on the board. Maury Wills here, 2-2. That's a base hit to center. Alright, so we have a leadoff single here, so we have a shot at getting something going. Alright, Manny Mota now, with a runner on first and nobody out. 1-0. And that's a bunt. And that is a successful sacrifice hit. So now we have a runner in scoring position and 1 out for Rusty Stubb. 0-1. Oh, the runner goes. And he's safe. So Will steals third on the place now. He's 90 feet away from scoring. And it's a 1-2 count, and Stubb strikes out, sorry. And now we have 2 outs, and we need a base hit from Mac Jones. 1-0. Oh, that's a bad pitch. That's a free run. Wills comes in to score, and it's 1-0 for the Expos. Gotta love free runs. Alright, 3-1. And Mac Jones walks for the second time today. Alright, so a 2 out walk, and now Bud Beatty is the batter. No count. Grounds it to short, and they go a short route to second for out number 3. Expos score a run on a wild pitch. It's 1-0 Montreal. Sorry, my space bar. Alright, so we just walked Ed Spiezzo on a full count. So runner on first, nobody out for Jose Arcia, 3-1. And he walks as well, so back-to-back walks to start inning number 3. That's not good. And now Steve Arnon, the pitcher, is next. No count to him. He's probably bunting. No, he's not. Took a swing. That's lifted to left. Mac Jones is there. That's going to be out number 1. So an easy first out here. Tony Gonzalez is next. The lineup flips back over. 2-2. Grounds it to short. We only get the runner out at second base on the play, so that's his fielder's choice. There's 2 outs now with runners on the corners. And Roberto Pena, with his knee strain, is the batter. 2-2. And that's it to right. All the way near the track is Rusty Stubb. And he catches it for out number 3. Padres get a couple walks, but they don't bring them in to score. Top of the 4th incoming. Expos are still up 1-0. John Bateman is the batter. 1-1 the count. Oh, that's it really well. All the way in the corner and right. That's going to be extra bases here. Of course, you know, graphically it makes no sense because the ball and the player are going through the fence. But that's going to be a double. Right, Floyd Wicker is next. Runner in scoring position and nobody out. 3-1. And he grounds it to short. Oh, that's going to be an error. Or is it a base hit? Okay, they gave it as an infield hit. So that's an infield hit for Wicker. So now we have runners on the corners and nobody out. Ty Klein, who's been playing pretty decent baseball lately. 0-1. That's it to center. Not very deep. And then Gonzalez is there. Catches. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's a sac fly. Alright, we'll take it. It didn't look all that deep, but hey, you know. Right, so now we are ahead 2-0 thanks to the sac fly by Ty Klein. Carl Martin is the next batter. Running on first, 1 out. No count. Martin bunts. And he's thrown out at first for out number 2. That advances Wicker to second base. And in scoring position for Maury Wills. 1-2. And he struck out swinging. Alright, the Expos add 1 more run to their lead. It is 2-0, bottom of the 4th incoming here at San Diego Stadium. With Al Ferrara leading off. 1-1. And oh, that's... Oh, what a catch there. And that is out number 1. So Ty Klein with the diving catch there. Now Nate Colbert is next. 0-2. Struck out swinging. That's out number 2. Ollie Brown, 1-2 to count. Right, grounds it to short, and he's thrown out at first for out number 3. Alright. Still a 2-0 game for the Expos. Manny Moto leading off the 5th inning. 2-2. Grounds it to short. That's out number 1. Rusty Stubb is next. 3-1. Grounds it to short. Oh, that's going to be an error. And Stubb makes it to second base on the plate on the bad throw. So now all of a sudden we have a runner in scoring position. 1 out. And Mac Jones is the next batter. 2-2. And that's it to left for a base hit. Oh, and Ferraro mishandles the ball, so right now it's a run scored. Stubb comes in across, and it is a 3-0 lead. Alright, Bob Bailey, the next batter. Runner in scoring position, 1 out. 1-0. And that's it really well. In the alley and right. Oh yeah. That's going to be extra bases, and it's going to score Mac Jones. So it is a 4-0 game, thanks to the double by Bob Bailey. And there's only 1 out here for John Bateman. 1 and 2. And he struck out swinging. Next up is Floyd Wicker, 3 and 0. And he walks on 4 pitches. Right, 2 on 2 outs for Ty Klein. 0 and 2. And he struck out looking. Expos doubled their lead. It's now 4-0 thanks to a 2-run inning in inning number 5, bottom of the 5th incoming. Chris Canizzaro is going to be the first batter. No count. Grounds it to short. Wills with the throw, and that's going to be out number 1. Right, Ed Spiezzo is next. 1 and 1. Rounds it to third. Wicker with the throw, and that's going to be out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Real quick, like I like it. Jose Arcia now. 2 and 2. And that's going to be a base hit to center, and that's the first base hit of the game for the Padres. I wasn't going to say anything, but Morton made it all the way into the 5th inning before giving up his first hit. So now there's a runner on first and 2 outs for Steve Arden, the pitcher, full count, and he walks. It's never a good omen when you walk the opposing pitcher. Usually not a good thing. Tony Gonzalez is next. No count. And that's a base hit to right. And the runner goes for home, and he is safe. It's a 4-1 game. Look at that. We were cruising, and then all of a sudden we're giving up runs and stuff. Roberto Pena, 2 on 2 outs. No count. Grounds it to short. And that's out number 3. Alright, top of the 6th incoming. Carl Martin is the next batter. 0 and 2. And he struck out swinging. Maury Wills is next, no count to him. That's it to right for a base hit. Another bloop single. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm getting hits. I mean, but yeah, like we did get a few pretty good hits in this game so far. I can't complain. Now, runner on first, 1 out for Manny Mota. 1 and 0. Runner goes. Oh, he's out. All right, so that's out number 2. Manny Mota now, 3 and 1. And that's a base hit to left. So the inning is still alive, and now Rusty Stubb is the batter. A full count to him. Grounds it to second. That was hit hard, and that's a base hit. Alright, an infield hit, so now 2 on 2 outs for Mac Jones. 1 and 1. Oh, that's out of here. Mac Jones with a 3-run blast here. How far was it? 391 feet. And it's 7-1 for the Expos. Look at us playing well. It's beautiful to see. Alright, so the Padres had enough. They're bringing in a reliever. It's going to be the lefty Dick Kelly. And Bob Bailey is the next batter. 2 outs here in inning number 6. 3 and 1 to count. Oh, he has a great ERA of 0.86, but he just walked Bob Bailey. So 2 out walk. Now John Bateman is next. 2 and 2. And he struck out swinging. And that's the end of the inning. So we had 3 more runs here. 7-1 the score. Right, Al Ferrara is the next batter. Morton still on the mound. 1 and 0. And that's it to second base, right at Mota for out number 1. Nate Colbert now, full count. And he walks. So Morton, as usual, walks way more than he strikes out. But somehow he keeps staying in games. I don't know how he does it. Alright, Ollie Brown, runner on first, one out, 1-1. He rounds it to third, 2 seconds for one, to first for the double play. That's an inning-ending double play. And top of the 7th incoming now. Expos still up by 6. Floyd Wicker, the batter, against the lefty Dick Kelly. 2-1. And that's it weekly to the pitcher, and that's going to be out number 1. Ty Klein now, 1-2. Oh, that's it to center. That's going to be a base hit. No, that's Cup. Okay. I thought it was going to go over his head. So 2 outs now. Carl Martin, the batter, 2-1. And that's it to right. Holly Brown is there. That's out number 3. All right. Bottom of the 7th now. Chris Canizzaro is the batter, 2-1. Grounds it to second. And he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Ed Spiezzo is next, full count. And that's going to be a base hit, opposite field base hit here for Spiezzo with 1 out. So a 1 out base runner for the Padres with Jose Arcia, the next batter. 1-1. And that's it to right, and it's going to be a base hit. Falls right in front of Rusty Stubbs, so the Padres getting 2 base runners now with 1 out. And they're bringing in a pinch hitter. It's going to be Ivan Morel. 2 on, 1 out, 1-0. Oh, that's it weekly. Bailey and Mota after it. Mota catches it for out number 2. Tony Gonzalez with 2 outs, 2 on, full count. That's it to left, and that's a base hit. It's the top of the fence. So you miss a home run by just a few inches. That's going to score a run. It's 7-2 now. Oh no, it's 7-3, sorry, both runners scored. So 7-3 for, and now Roberto Pena with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs, 3-1, and he walks. Al Ferrara is next. No count. That's it to right for a base hit. Oh, did we get him at the plate? Yes, we did. Good throw by Rusty Stubb here. So they tried to be greedy there. Can be greedy. It's 7-3. Top of the 8th. And coming Maury Wills. The new pitcher is Jack Balchon. Oh, we've seen him before. I didn't know how to say his name last time that we saw him either. Alright, 1-0 to count. And that's going to be a base hit to right. So Maury Wills with a base hit. So a leadoff single, runner on first, nobody out for Manny Mota, 0-1. And that's going to be a stolen base for Wills. That's his 10th stolen base of the season and his 2nd of the game. He stole 3rd earlier. Full count. And that's going to be a base hit for Mota, opposite field single. And we're going to hold Wills at 3rd on the play, so runners on the corners again. Nobody out for Rusty Stubb. He's 1 for 4 today. 2-2. Oh, he struck out. Mac Jones is next. 1-2. And that's it to right for a base hit. Mac Jones has been playing better lately. It has been noted, and maybe it's because we decided to take him off the starting lineup against lefties. Maybe that's why. Right, Bob Bailey is next. Runners on the corners, 1 out, 1-2. And he struck out looking. John Bateman now, 1 and 2. And he struck out looking 2. Jeez, at least swing the bat. Alright, bottom of the 8. What am I doing here? I guess I'm gonna keep Morton in. Alright, so Colbert the batter. 3 and 1. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna pull him. Yeah, that's a base hit to right. Maybe I've seen enough. Alright, let's see what we have going on with our relievers here. Okay, Megan can't really go. I guess I'm gonna bring somebody maybe to do a two inning. I'm gonna bring Don Shaw. Man, they really only have righties. That's okay. Oh, I should have done a double switch. The pitcher comes to bat in the next inning. Oh well. Alright, so runner on first. Nobody out. Ollie Brown the batter. No count. Grounds it to short. To second for 1. Back to first for the double play. I believe that was Ollie Brown that hit into that inning-ending double play earlier in the game too. Now Chris Cannizzaro is the batter. 3 and 1. And he walks. 2 out walk. Ed Spiezzo is next. 3 and 0. And he walks on 4 pitches. Maybe it's a good thing that the pitcher comes to bat the next inning. Maybe I don't want to go 2 innings with Don Shaw. Alright, 2 on, 2 outs for Jose Arcia. 1 and 1. Grounds it to short. And we get the runner out at second base for out number 3. Alright. Top of the 9th incoming. We are still up by 5. 8-3 to score. Floyd Wicker facing off against Bald Shun. 3 and 0. And he walks on 4 pitches. Ty Klein is next. 2 and 2. And he struck out swinging. Alright, we're gonna pinch it. That's okay. Of course, it's gonna be Jim Ferry. My left-handed pinch hitter. Runner on first, 1 out. No count to Ferry. Grounds it to second. And he's thrown out for out number 2. Runner makes it to second base on the play. We have a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs for Murray Wills. 2 and 0. Grounds it to short, and that's going to be a base hit, I think. Yep. Alright, so runners on the corners. 2 outs. Oh, they're bringing in another reliever. Don Cardwell is coming in. Manny Mota is the batter. No count. Oh. And that's going to score a run. That's a bad pitch. 9-3 to score now. And now we have a runner in scoring position. 1 and 1. And that's popped by Mota. Spiezzo catches it for out number 3. Alright, I need to bring in a reliever. I think I'm going to give an inning to Jerry Robertson. He has not been pitching well. So maybe give him some confidence back. Alright, so Cito Gaston is coming in as a pinch hitter, facing off against Jerry Robertson, who comes in relief. Bottom of the 9th, 9-3 to score for the Expos, 0-2 to Gaston. And that's going to be a base hit to left. My oh my. I'm giving an inning that should be easy to Robertson so that he can build confidence, and it's not starting well. Tony Gonzalez, runner on first, nobody out, no count. And it's the batter. Jerry, what am I gonna do with you? I'm not the GM, so I can't do anything. Alright, Roberto Pena is the batter. Full count. Grounds it to short, to second for 1, back to first for the double play. Runner makes it to third base on the play. So there's a runner on third and 2 outs now for Al Ferrara. Last out for the Padres, 1 into the count. And Ferrara strikes out for out number 3. The Expos win game number 1 of the series. And we will take it. Alright, so Martin gets win number 4 this season. Oh, somebody got suspended. Ken Berry got suspended playing for the White Sox. For poor conduct and unacceptable behavior that made a farce out of the game. What did he do? Oh my, after being called out on strikes, Berry was ejected by the home plate umpire after a heated and animated discussion. In protest for the ejection, he proceeded to throw his bat down, take off his batting gloves, cap, shirt, socks, and shoes, and leave them at home plate, refusing to pick them up. Dang. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and advance until tomorrow. Apparently there's talks between Houston and Baltimore. But we don't know who are the players involved in those trade talks. My GM doesn't trade, he doesn't do anything. See? Doesn't do anything. Alright, so for game number 2, we are going to be facing off against a lefty, Dave Roberts. That means that Don Clendenon's going to draw in for Mac Jones in left field. And we're going to be sending Bill Stillman. Which Bill Stillman are we going to see? We never know. That's, you know, that's the beauty of the sport, is sometimes you have players that are very volatile like that. You never know what they're going to give you. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, I'm gonna keep this lineup. The change, of course, is Clendenon in left field for Mac Jones because we're facing a lefty. Padres are going with Gonzalez, Pena, Ferrara, Colbert, Brown, Canizaro, Spiazzo, and Arcia. It's exactly the same lineup we just faced. So let's get going. Oh, and Bill Stillman is 1-0 against San Diego with a 0.00 ERA. Yeah, I like that. And apparently we hit Dave Roberts pretty good when we faced him last time. Alright, let's get this thing underway. Maury Wills leading off, of course. 0-2 to count. Little tour of the stadium here in San Diego. It's another evening affair here. I've never been to San Diego, but I'm sure that in June the weather is beautiful. Alright, Wills with hits it too short and he's thrown out for out number 1. Oh, I need to stop using my spacebar until I figure out. I'm gonna try to clean my keyboard and see if that helps. It's pretty new too. Serenity got it for me for Christmas, and it's an expensive one too. Alright. Manny Mota, the batter now, with 1 out, no count. And that's it to first, and that's out number 2. Alright, Rusty Stubb now with 2 outs, 2 and 1. That's it to first, and Colbert takes it himself for out number 3. 1, 2, 3. The Expos go down. Bottom of the first incoming with Bill Stillman facing off against Tony Gonzalez. 3-0 to count. Not a good start to the game. It's probably a 4-pitch walk, and it is. So is that Bill Stillman that we have on the mound today? Roberto Pena is next, runner on first, nobody out, 1-1. Oh, that's a bunt. That's not a good bunt. Right at Stillman, who catches it for out number 1. Runner has to retreat. Alferrera is next, 2-0. That's it to right. All the way to the track is Rusty Sub, and he catches it for out number 2. Right, so runner on first, 2 outs for Colbert, full count. Grounds it to first, and that's out number 3. Alright, top of the second incoming, Don Clendon, the batter, 0-2. And he struck out looking. I give you playtime and that's what you do to me? Oh. Alright, Bob Bailey now, no count. Grounds it to short, and that's going to be a base hit. It trickles all the way to center field. Alright, so we have a 1-out single here. And John Bateman is next, no count. Grounds it to second, and oh, that's an error, I believe. Yep, that's going to be an error. So now runners on first and second with 1 out for Floyd Wicker. 1-2. And he struck out swinging, swung late. Ty Klein, 1-1, 2 outs. That's a bloop single to center. Both the second baseman and the shortstop dove, and like the ball just went bloop. Yeah, so 1-0 for the Expos thanks to that single by Ty Klein. Now Bill Stillman is next. There's 2 on, 2 outs. The 1-2. And he struck out swinging for out number 3. Right, bottom of the second, Ollie Brown is next, 1-0. It's at Weekly. And that's going to be cut there by Wicker for out number 1. Right, Chris Canizzaro is next with 1 out, 1-2. And that's it Weekly, and cut by Stoneman on the mound for out number 2. It's Piezzo, 1-1. That's it to center. Klein dives and catches it for out number 3. Alright, 3 up, 3 down for the Padres. Top of the third incoming. Expos up 1-0 with Maury Wills, the batter, 2-1. That's a base hit to center. Right, runner on first, nobody out for Manny Mota, no count, and that's a bunt by Mota. That's a sacrifice hit. So runner on second base, 1 out now for Rusty Stubb, 0-1, and he pops it. That's gonna be out number 2. Now Clendenon with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, 3-0. And he walks on 4 pitches. Alright, 2 on, 2 outs for Bob Bailey, 1-1. And that's it to right, but... Oh no, that's a base hit. I thought it was going to get cut. All the way to the fence, that's going to be extra bases. And Bailey gets a triple on the ball that I thought was going to get cut. Alright, so that's 2 more runs. Alright, so runner on third, 2 outs for John Bateman, 2-2. Struck out swinging for out number 3. Alright, bottom of the third incoming, Jose Arcia, the batter, 2-2. Grounds it to short, and that's out number 1. Dave Roberts is next, no count. Grounds it to third. Wicker with the throw, and that's going to be out number 2. Tony Gonzalez is next, 2-1. Grounds it to third. And that's going to be out number 3. The Padres go down in order yet again. Top of the 4th incoming. The Expos up 3-0 here in San Diego. Floyd Wicker the batter, 2-0 to count. And that's it. Oh, what a catch by Gonzalez there. Diving with his back to home plate. And catches it for out number 1. Ty Klein is next, full count. Rounds it to second. That's out number 2. Bill Stoneman, 2-2. And he struck out looking. Alright, bottom of the 4th now. Roberto Pena the batter, 1-2. Struck out swinging for out number 1. Al Ferrara is next, no count. Grounds it to short. And he's thrown out for out number 2. Nate Colbert now, 1-2. And that's it weekly. Bailey and Mota are there. Mota gets it for out number 3. Nothing for the Padres in inning number 4, top of the 5th incoming. Maury Wills leading off that inning for us, 2-2. That's it, 2 left for a base hit. All right, so a leadoff single. I like that. Usually there's a good chance that it shapes up for a good inning here. Manny Mota the batter, runner on first, nobody out, no count. Grounds it to that's a bunt, sorry. And that's a good sacrifice hit. So runner in scoring position and 1 out for Rusty Stubb, 0-2 to count. Grounds it to first, and that's going to be out number 2. Don Clendenon is next, no count. And that's it to right for a base hit. It's going to be 4-0 for the Expos. Alright, so Bob Bailey now, runner on first, 2 outs, 1-2. Struck out swing. Alright, the Expos add 1 more run to their lead. 4-0 is the score now. And it is that time of the stream. It is the time where I switch to regular water. Alright, Bill Stoneman still on the mound. He's facing off against Ollie Brown, 1-1. Rounds it to short. And he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Chris Cannizzaro is next, full count. And he walks. So, a base runner for the Padres. They haven't had one since inning number 1. Ed Spiezzo is next, with 1 out, 1-0. And that's going to be a base hit to left. So yet again, our starter gives up his first hit of the game in inning number 5. Because that's the first base hit for the Padres. Jose Arcia is the batter. 2 on, 1 out, 0-1. Grounds it to first. And we're only going to get the runner out at second base on the fielder's choice. So runners on the corners, but there's 2 outs now. They need a base hit from Dave Roberts, the pitcher. 2-2. And that's it to center for a base hit. Dave Roberts being clutch, helping his own cause there. Alright, so 2 runs score on the double, and then he advances on the throw. Alright, so all of a sudden it's 4-2 for the Expos. Alright, Tony Gonzalez, runner on third, 2 outs, 1-1. Grounds it to first. The relay throw to Stillman, and that's out number 3. The Padres get on the board. They cut the lead in half. It's now 4-2. John Bateman is the batter. Dave Roberts still on the mound. 2-1. Oh, Bateman tried to bunt himself on the catcher, ladies and gentlemen, with a 2 out of 100 rating for a bunt for it. Why not? Alright, and that's it. Right at Pena at shortstop for out number 1. That was a weird play. I mean, stuff happens, right? Floyd Wicker with 1 out, 2-2. And he struck out looking. Right, 2 outs now for Ty Klein, 0-2. And he struck out looking. Alright, that's the end of inning number 6 for the Expos. Bottom of the 6 for the Padres, and coming with Roberto Pena leading off. No count. Grounds it to short. That's going to be a good throw for out number 1. Al Ferrara is next. 2-0. Grounds it to third. Wicker with the throw, and that's going to be out number 2. Nate Colbert, 2-2 to count. Struck out swinging, and that's going to be out number 3. Alright. Top of the 7th with the Expos still up by 2 runs. Bill Stolman leads off. I'm going to keep him in the game. Wow, Dave Roberts has 8 strikeouts. 2-2. Struck out swinging. That's 9 strikeouts for Dave Roberts. Maury Wills now, 2-2. And that's it to left for a base hit. Right, so now we get a base hit from Wills. Runner on first, 1 out for Manny Mota, no count. Oh, they tried to get Wills out at first, but they didn't do it. 2-1. And that's going to be a base hit to center for Manny Mota. Right, and Wills goes to third base on the play, so now we have runners on first and third, only 1 out, and we have Rusty Stubb, the batter, of course, lefty on lefty, but Stubb is still a good enough batter to be able to overcome that, I'm sure. 2-1. That's it to left for a base hit. Alright, so some of the lead is gonna be brought back here. A 5-2 ball game. Don Clendenin is next, 2 on 1 out, 1-0, and that's it to center. That's going to be cut by Gonzalez for out number 2. So now we pretty much need a base hit from Bob Bailey. 2-2. Rounds it to short, and he's thrown out at second base for out number 3. The Expos do score a run, however. We have a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th. Ollie Brown, first one to face off against Bill Stolman in that inning. 1-1. That's it to left, and whoa, what a catch by Clendenin. He's like, play me more, dude. See what I can do? You haven't seen Mac Jones do that. I play out every game. I may or may not have seen it. I don't remember. I don't think I have. Alright, Chris Canizzaro is next. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Full count. Grounds it to first. Bailey gets it. Touches the base himself. Out number 2. Right, Ed Spiezzo is next. 2-2. Grounds it to third. Wicker with the throw, and that's out number 3. There you go. What a catch by Clendenin, and that set the tone for the inning. The Padres go down 1-2-3. Top of the 8th, and coming John Bateman. No count. Grounds it to short, and that's going to be out number 1. Floyd Wicker, 2-1. That's popped really high and not very deep. Pena's there, that's going to be out number 2. Ty Klein now. Full count. And he walks. A 2-out walk. I think I'm gonna keep Bill Stolman. I think he's pitched well enough to be able to pitch at least the 8th inning, and then we'll take it from there. Alright, run on first, 2 outs, 1 and 1. And Stolman hits it to second base. He's thrown out at first for out number 3. That's the first time of the game that Bill Stolman doesn't strike out. Alright, so bottom of the 8th, incoming Jose Arcia, the batter. They're probably going to bring in a pinch hitter for Dave Roberts, I would think. 2-0. Grounds it to Mota for out number 1. Yeah, Cito Gaston is coming in as a pinch hitter. 2-2. Strikeout swinging. That's out number 2. Tony Gonzalez now, 1-0. And that's it right at wicker at third base for out number 3. I think I might try to have the complete game for Stolman. I know it's not a complete game shutout, but he only gave up 2 hits and not that many walks. So I have to think like a 1969 manager, which I have no idea what they were thinking back then, but usually they would go the distance with their pitchers in a situation like this, I think. At least from the box scores I've been looking at. I mean, that was before my time. Alright, Al McBean comes in on the mound in relief. Maury Wills is going to be the batter now. Top of the 9th, the Expos are up 5-2. 1-1 the count. And that's it to right, and that's going to be cut there by Brown for out number 1. Manny Mota now, 1-2. That's it weakly to right, and Brown is there again, and that's yet again another out. So we have 2 up, 2 down. Now Rusty Stubb has a base hit today. He also has an RBI, 1-0. And that's a liner to second, and that's cut by Arcia for out number 3. Alright, bottom of the 9th incoming. Stolman is going to try to go the distance. Roberto Pena, first one to face off against him. 2-2. That's it to left. Clendenon is there. That's going to be out number 1. Al Ferrara is next, full count, and that's going to be a walk. Alright, so 1 out walk, and Nate Colbert, the next batter, 2-2. Struck out swinging, oh yeah. Stolman still has the good stuff in inning number 9 there. It was a slider too. Like oftentimes, like when you're in inning number 9, like in 120 pitches, the slider doesn't slide so much anymore. Alright, so Ollie Brown, runner on first, 2 outs, full count. Oh, struck out swinging, but the ball eludes Bateman. We get the out at first, and that is the game, folks. And nice little 5-2 victory here in San Diego, so we have won the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Alright, so I didn't use any substitution for nothing. I'm a traditional guy. Like, I don't like to change a lineup that's winning too much. So, alright, so Stolman gets win number 6, and he started the game with a 4-pitch walk too, and I thought that we were getting the bad Bill Stolman, but all in all, he pitched pretty decent. Alright, his ERA dropped to 4.72. So Wilbur Wood leads Chicago to a 2-0 win over Cleveland. We're gonna go ahead and advance to tomorrow. Oh, still, I wonder who are the players being traded. That's the second time they're telling me about this mysterious trade that's in the works. Alright, so we'll go ahead and... Of course, as far as we are concerned, our GM probably did nothing. Might have taken a nap. Maybe, that's a big maybe. Maybe he took out the trash. But, you know, that's about it. Yeah, didn't do nothing. Right, so I am going to take a very short break. You know, a guy's got a pee sometimes, so I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. We're gonna go ahead and play game number 3, last game of the 3-game series here against the Padres. We're gonna be facing off against Dick Selma. I don't believe I've seen him the first time we played them. Larry Jasser is gonna be on the mound for us. We're gonna go ahead and click play ball and see what's going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this lineup again. I don't like to really change our winning lineup too much, so we're gonna go ahead and keep the same players, except Mike Jones is back in left field because we're facing up against a righty. Dick Selma is 0-3 on this season. He does have 6 saves. Oh, he doesn't even have like 25 stamina. I don't know if it's still true. I know that in previous versions of Out of the Park Baseball, you needed at least 25 stamina out of 100 to be considered a starter. So I don't know if they're going with you know, a relief pitcher day. It used to be a thing in baseball. I guess you could say that it still happens with openers and whatnot, but yeah, that's what they called them back in the day. Like they would have relievers like pitch the entire game basically. So I don't know if that's what's going on, but anyway. Alright, so Gonzalez, Pena, Ferrara, Colbert, Brown, Canizaro, Spezzo. So the Padres are also going with the exact same lineup. So let's get going. Are we gonna make it a perfect 3 out of 3 against the Padres? That would be beautiful. Alright, Maury Wills leading off, of course. It's gonna be a 1-2 count. Alright, grounds it to short, and that's going to be out number 1. Oh, I pressed the space bar. I'm sorry, I forgot. So that was a 1-2 count. Mota with the ground out to first for out number 2. Rusty Stubb is next, 2-2. Strikeout swinging. And that's the end of inning number 1 for the Expos. Bottom of the first incoming. Tony Gonzalez here facing off against Jaster, 0-1. He's the only left-handed batter in the lineup for the Padres. That's it to right. Stubb is there. That's going to be out number 1. Roberto Pena is the next batter. There's 1 out, 2-2. And that's going to be out number 2. Al Ferrara is next. There's 2 outs, 0-2. And that's out number 3. Struck out looking. Alright, top of the second incoming. Mac Jones is going to be the batter. 1-1. Rounds it to a base hit to center, and that's going to be a leadoff single for the Expos. It's a runner on first, nobody out for Bob Bailey. No count. Grounds it to third. They get Jones out at second base, but that's the only out they're going to get. It's a fielder's choice. There's 1 out and a runner on first now for John Bateman. 0-1. Oh, and he bunts, but he bunts it foul. 1-2 now. Rounds it to third, to second for 1, to first for the inning-ending double play. Then the catcher committed himself in 2. Right, bottom of the second inning. Nate Colbert facing off against Jaster. Now Colbert has this nice 71 power against lefties. 2-2 the count. That's it to right. Stubb is there, and he catches it for out number 1. Ollie Brown is the next batter. 2-1. Hits it to left, and that's going to be out number 2. Chris Canizaro is the next batter. 2 outs, full count. And he grounds it to the pitcher, and that's going to be out number 3. Top of the third incoming. Floyd Wicker is next. Full count. And that's going to be a base hit to right. Alright, so a leadoff single. As we all know, I kind of like that. I like getting on base with nobody out. I think most people do. Ty Klein now with a runner on first. 0-2. Strikeout swinging. Alright, so there's 1 out now. There's a good chance that Larry Jaster bunts. Now, a little bit of trivia from my own save here. Larry Jaster actually hit the first home run for my Expos in that save. So my first home run for you know, the first season for the Expos came from the bat of a pitcher. 1-0. Oh, the runner goes. Oh, he's safe. Alright, so that's a stolen base for Wicker now. We have a runner in scoring position and 1 out, 1 and 1. Jaster grounds it to second, and that's going to be out number 2. Alright, so runner on third, 2 outs. We need a base hit from Maury Wills, 1 and 2. Grounds it to short, and that's a good throw. That's out number 3. Expos get a runner to third base, but they cannot bring him around to score. So it is still nothing in the bottom of the third. Heads Piazzo leads off, no count. It's it to left. Mac Jones settles underneath it, and that's out number 1. Jose Arcia is next, 1 and 2. And he takes a swing, and that's out number 2 here. Strikeout swinging, Dick Selma now, 1 and 2. 2 outs, and that's a base hit to right. Alright, so Selma gets on board here with 2 outs, and now the lineup flips over for Tony Gonzalez, 3 and 1, and he walks. Alright, so 2 out trouble here for the Expos. A base hit and a walk, and all of a sudden, after 2 outs, there's 2 on for Roberto Pena. 1 and 2. It's it to right. Rusty Stubb barely has to move, and that's going to be out number 3. Perfect. Top of the 4th incoming, Manny Mota, the batter, 3 and 1. And that's going to be a walk. Right, runner on first, nobody out for Rusty Stubb, 0-1. And Stubb, oh, that's an opposite field blast here. Nice. So a 2-run blast for Rusty Stubb, 404 feet. And that was opposite field, so you need big arms to do that. You need some just sheer strength to do that. And it is 2-0 for the Expos. Mac Jones, top of the 4th. No count. Nobody out. Grounds it to first, and that's going to be out number 1. Bob Bailey is next. No count. Alright, and that's opposite field single for Bailey. So runner on first, 1 out. John Bateman is the next batter. No count. Bateman gets it to left, but Ferrara's there for out number 2. Runner has to head back to first on the play, so 2 outs for Wicker, 0-1. It's it to center, and that's cut there for out number 3. The Expos get on the board thanks to a 2-run home run by Rusty Stubb, Le Grand Orange. Bottom of the 4th incoming, Expos are up 2-0. Al Ferrara is the next batter, 1 and 2. Grounds it to second. Mota with the good throw, that's out number 1. Nate Colbert now, 1 and 1. That guy has some serious power, but he grounds it to short. Wheels with the throw, and that's going to be out number 2. Ollie Brown now, 1 and 2. It's it to the opposite field, all the way to the warning track, and that's cut there by Rusty Stubb for out number 3. Nothing to show for the Padres in inning number 4, top of the 5th incoming here in San Diego. And it is another evening game. Ty Klein leading off the 5th for us. No count. And that's a base hit to left. Okay, runner on first, nobody out for Larry Jaster, 1-1. Oh, the runner goes. Klein has some speed, and that's going to be a stolen base. Despite his speed, that's only his 2nd stolen base, and he's let off a few times too. I guess just didn't happen for him. Alright, so runner in scoring position now for Jaster, 1-2. He tried to bunt, but he bunted foul, so that's a strikeout. And that's out number 1. Maury Wills now, 1-1. Grounds it to third. He's thrown out at first. Runner makes it to third base on the play. So now we need a base hit from Manny Mota. 1-0. grounds it to third. That's gonna be a base hit, and it's gonna score a run. Alright, 3-0 the score now. Alright, Rusty Stub, 0-1. And that's a base hit to opposite field base hit again. No, that's not a home run, but Stub went opposite field twice in a row here. So the inning is still alive. We have 2 on 2 outs for Mac Jones, full count, and he walks. Now the bases are loaded for Bob Bailey. He has the opportunity to do some serious damage here. There's 2 outs, so we do need a base hit. 1 and 2. And he struck out looking. Alright, we added 1 run to our lead. Bottom of the 5th incoming. Chris Canizzaro is the batter. 2 and 2. And that's a base hit to left. Runner on first, nobody out for Ed Spiezzo. 1 and 2 to count. Oh, that's out of here. That's a 2-run. No, it's got. Sorry. No, it's not. What happened? That's a double. Okay, so at first I thought it was a home run, and then it looked like Mac Jones was getting there and catching the ball, but he didn't, and it's a double. So it's 3-1. I apologize for all the confusion there. I was fooled. Runner in scoring position, nobody out for Jose Arcia. Full count. That's a base hit to right. And might score the run. Yep, it's 3-2 to score now. So all of a sudden our lead is evaporating at a rapid rate. So runner in scoring position, nobody out for Dick Selma. 1 and 1. And he bunts. Alright, that's out number 1. Runner makes it to third on the sacrifice hit. I kind of need a strikeout or a pop-up or something here. 1 and 2. No, that's it to center with some force, and I believe that's going to score the run. It does, and we have a tie game. Sac fly for Gonzalez, and it is now 3-3. Roberto Pena, 2 outs. Bases are now empty. 1 and 0. And that's Pup. And that's cut by Wheels for out number 3. Alright, so we have a brand new game here in San Diego. 3-3 to score now, going into the top of the 6th. John Bateman leading off. 1 and 2. And he grounds it to the pitcher. And he's thrown out for out number 1. Floyd Wicker, no count. Grounds it to the pitcher. Out number 2. Are we going to get the ball out of the infield? Ty Klein, 2 outs, 2 and 2. And he struck out looking, so the answer is no. We didn't get the ball out of the infield. Bottom of the 6th incoming. Al Ferrara, the batter. Well, that could be Larry Jasser's last inning. He's at 86 pitches, and he doesn't have great stamina. So depending on how this inning goes, might be his last one. No count. That's popped weakly. Motaka charges in to get it instead of the pitcher, and that's out number 1. Nate Colbert, 1 and 2. Oh, that's it in the alley and right, so that's going to be extra bases. Alright, so runner in scoring position. Runner in scoring position, 1 out for Ollie Brown. No count. Oh, that's out of here. Alright, it is 5-3 for the Padres all of a sudden. So for the first time of this series, we are trailing. We were either tied or at the lead all the way up to this point in this series. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, Jasser is the next batter. We're gonna see if he can finish the inning. Chris Canizzaro is the next batter with 1 out, no count. That's it to center. Klein goes after it, catches it for out number 2. And now Ed Spiezzo is going to be the next batter. 2 outs, full count. And that's it to center. And Klein is there, and that's going to be out number 3. The Padres get 2 more runs on the board. They now lead 5-3. All right, we're going to bring in. That's going to be Jim Ferry, of course, the lefty. All right, Jim Ferry comes in as a pinch hitter. 1 and 2. And he struck out swinging. All right, Maury Wills is next. No count. And he hits it to right, and that's going to be out number 2. Alright. Now Manny Mota is the next batter. He has a hit and an RBI. I'm going to keep him in the game. 3 and 1. Thing is, and he walks. Thing is, also is, I already used my only left bat on the bench. So, like, if we're talking about situation, I can do nothing more. So Rusty Stubb, 2 for 3. He has a home run. So runner on first, 2 outs, 3 and 0, and he walks on 4 pitches. So after 2 outs here, we get 2 runners on. And now Mac Jones, 2 on 2 outs, full count. Grounds it to second, and that's going to be out number 3. All right, so we don't get anybody in. All right, so I think I'm gonna keep Ferry in. He can play in the field. He doesn't get to play the field very often. He's always my pinch hitter. And I think we're gonna bring the old man. I'm gonna bring Roy Face. He is 41 years old. I'm calling him old as if I'm not older than 41. In baseball terms, 41 is getting old. Although in those years, maybe not as much. Like, wasn't Charlie Huff like 45 when he did that first start for the Marlins against the Dodgers when the Marlins joined the league? So, of course, he was a knuckleball pitcher, so that's not as hard on the arm. I can't see a pitcher nowadays like pitching at 45. I mean, it might happen, but I don't see it happening. All right, Jose Arcia against Roy Face. I try to not say facing off against Roy Face because it sounds like I'm trying to make a pun, and I really am not. 1 and 2 to count. And, whoa, that's cut by Wills. Nice diving catch there. All right, Ivan Morel is the pinch hitter. No count. He's 1 for 18 as a pinch hitter, and he's going to be 1 for 19. That was a liner cut by Bailey at first. Tony Gonzalez is next. No count. And that's popped in foul territory. Wicker after it. He gets it for out number 3, top of the 8th incoming. We're down 2. We're going to need to get something going here. Right, they're bringing in Tom Dukes on the mound as a reliever. Right, Bob Bailey is the first one to face him. And I think I'm going to keep him in the game. 2 and 0. Grounds it to third, and then the third baseman boots it. So we have a runner on first. And I'm going to pinch it for John Bateman. I have the luxury of having 3 catchers. So we're going to send Clendenon to pinch it for him. Right, runner on first, nobody out. Full count to Clendenon. And he struck out looking. Man, I'm bringing in as a pinch hitter, at least swing the damn bat. Right, Floyd Wicker, I'm going to keep him in the game. Runner on first, 1 out. No count. That's it to right, and that's cut there by Brown for out number 2. Alright, so now we need for Ty Klein to keep the inning alive. Full count. Rounds it to second. He's thrown out at first for out number 3. Alright, we're gonna need to bring in. Alright, so. I guess we're gonna go with Ron Brown. He has a better bat than Bocabilla, and if I'm like trying to score runs, like he might get to bat actually. So all right, so Roy Face is gonna remain in the game. He only had 6 pitches. So Roberto Pena, bottom of the 8th, Padres up 5-3. No count. Grounds it to short, and he's thrown out at first for out number 1. Al Ferrara is next, full count. And he struck out swinging. Nate Colbert is next, full count. 2 outs. Whoa, that's out of here. It looked far. 423 feet. It's now 6-3 for the Padres. Ollie Brown is next, 1-2. Struck out swinging. That's the end of inning number 8. However, the Padres add 1 more run to their lead. We are down 3 going into the top of the 9th. Hopefully we have a few small miracles on hand. We might need them. Tom Duke still on the mound. Jim Ferry the batter, 1-1. Rounds it to third. And he throws out at first for out number 1. Maury Wills is next. Oh, he's 0 for 4 today. Maybe I want to pinch it for him. We'll go with Jose Herrera. Jose Herrera comes in as a pinch hitter, 2-2. That's lifted to left in foul territory. Ferrara's there. Oh, Gonzalez. Okay, sorry. There's been some defensive switches I didn't see. That's out number 2. Yep. Alright, 2 outs now for Manny Mota, so he's our last hope. No count. Grounds it to center for a base hit. Alright. We haven't said our last word. So runner on first, 2 outs for Rusty Stubb. No count. Grounds it to second. And he's thrown out at first for out number 3. So this time we did not win. Actually, the Padres rallied and beat us after we took a 3-0 lead. Alright. So Jaster takes the loss. He's 4-6 on this season now. Oh, somebody went 5 for 7. Steve Brown is one of my prospects. So in the minors, he went 5 for 7. That's good. Atlanta beat the Cubs 7-0. Phil Niekro was he only gave up 2 hits and he struck out 10. And Rick Wise, a complete game shutout for the Phillies against the Dodgers. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and advance here. Now is Houston and Baltimore gonna make that trade? Like after telling me every day, oh, there might be a trade. No. Alright, so the next series is a 4-game series against the Giants. So I may or may not do the 4 games in one sitting. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Alright, and Bob Gibson. Oh, Bob Gibson is our... Oh, like win-loss, he's not doing all that great this season. He has elbow inflammation and he's out for 2 weeks. I am going to go ahead and save the game. And that's going to be it for me today. So as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. It is ARG out, so peace out, folks, and I'll see you all next time.